Tracy,
Hi.
I love that smile on your face, by the way. I love your enthusiasm and your vigor for life. So, as you know, this goes out to veterans and first responders. And so you are a veteran.
I am Marine veteran.
So thank you for that. And what is the condition that we were taking care of you for that you came in here for?
PTSD, anxiety, yeah, and I live alone, and I saw my mom pass away with dementia, and it was the most horrible. Nobody wants to see that.
No.
And I was very concerned because I heard that when your brain is, well, there's things that are happening when you're anxious and stuff like that to your brain, and it can be very likely that untreated PTSD or whatever can lead to things like dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yep.
And I just couldn't let it be me.
Yep. People don't understand this predominantly, but really what happens with PTS, this is for people watching this, you have a stimulus or stimuli, a stressful event or events. And here's where people don't understand that event leads to inflammation of the brain, because that goes into what we call fight flight. Once you're in fight flight, that's inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
Once your brain is inflamed, then it goes through a series of physiological dysfunctions. The end result is what we call PTS or anxiety or depression or any other label that we get. It's not the psychological state that we have to look at and correct. It's all of the stuff that occurred as a result of the stressor, fight flight response, and then the inflammation. Okay, so that was just a little side note. So tell me about the experience of your anxiety. What did that feel like to you?
I didn't know if I wanted to scream and holler and come at somebody or I wanted to go home and hide. I didn't know which I wanted to do, and usually neither worked, even though I did it. I also was not comfortable. Even though I was with people and people were like, oh, you're so bubbly and outgoing, there was this, I was exhausted when I got home because it was all a performance,
right,
in a sense. And now I feel very authentic with people, and I really can sense if I'm not safe in a space now. Before all the spaces were unsafe because I was anxious.
Right.
And now I'm like, oh, I know the difference. I'm like, I'm feeling a little, and it's not a trigger, it's now consciousness. It
Right.
feels like I'm just
Right.
being awake and alert. It's not, I don't need to flee.
Yeah, you were in a chronic state of fight flight before.
Mhm.
That creates
Absolutely.
hypervigilance. Literally, that amygdala, that part of your brain, is like the smoke detector for danger.
Mhm.
Is actually overly sensitive when we have PTS.
Exactly.
So just a person striking a match will elicit that smoke detector.
Mhm.
Now you still have that amygdala, which is important. Now it's just more true to the surroundings that you're in. So can we show them your results, you guys?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this is, as people know, we do something called brain mapping. And so if we can see, if Haley can look into the, we can see that you started, Tracy, with a very, very low microvoltage, which was a 2 when you first came in to see us. That is on the way to cognitive decline. That is an inflamed and, if I can say, damaged brain. That's a stressed out, anxious brain.
And you said within 10 years I wouldn't have known my name.
Yeah, so I said 10 years. Now, there might be a scientist out there who goes, how does he know exactly 10 years?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that, but I can tell you that if you're at a 2 and you don't look like you're in your mid-60s, but you are, once by the time you're in your mid-70s, left uncorrected, what do you think would have happened to that microvoltage? Would it have gotten better?
No.
No, it would have gotten
No.
worse.
Got
So
worse.
that would, and you don't have too far to go from 2, right? Like there's 0.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
so you can see now you're at a normal 8 microvolts, which is amazing. That's basically the horsepower of your brain. And this is astounding to me. Your brain reaction time was so slow, it was not even registering.
Detectable.
It was greater than 500 milliseconds. You are now literally off the chart at 240 milliseconds. So that improved, as is your physical reaction time. And one more, Haley, if you can just see. This visual basically says it all. You can see we're mostly a blue brain here. This is a very underactive, low horsepower, low resource brain. Inflamed brain, not in a, I should say, best of state. And then this is after the work that we did. So we did, again, what did we do? Well, we did neurofeedback. Well, you tell us what we did.
We did hyperbaric chamber, which was literally amazing because I'm a skater, so it helped me to recover physically with the skating as well. But we did hyperbaric chamber, neurofeedback, and I even got some adjustments.
Brain-based chiropractic care, and we did cranial work.
Yeah, you did
well.
cranial work. You also did the acid test, which found a toxic level of mold in my system.
Right.
And I did, I call them nutraceuticals because they're not pharmaceuticals. And I'm just finishing up those supplements now. And literally, I would skate on Saturday night, come in at 1 a.m. and I was useless all day Sunday. And now I get in my studio, I'm an artist, I get in my studio, I run my weekly errands or whatever, but before it was like, the only thing that was good, I was good for was the couch on Sunday.
Now, this is the most important part of this
Okay.
interview, and that is this. There are people watching this who are at their last hope, if you will. They don't know whether to put a beer in their mouth or a gun. Could you just give me like just a really brief 1 minute synopsis of how perhaps there's hope and help for them as well?
There is complete hope, and I'm going to do this without tears. However, you have to be an advocate for yourself. That means you have to stay consistent to this treatment because that's where the results are. And it's only 20 weeks out of my life. It was only 20 weeks. And it saved my life.